Before we begin our problems, we need to think about these two phrases and what they mean. 10 times as much is a clue for an operation, and our clue is going to be in our second word. 10 times. We're multiplying by 10. The phrase 1/10 as much, our fraction bar, which also means division, is our clue for divided by 10. And this is how we're relating place values to each other. If we think about the number 546 and 2/10, we need to remember that each place value relates to the other by a power of 10. As we increase, you are multiplying the place values by 10, and as we decrease, you are dividing by 10. And it goes in both directions. Here we have a question where they have provided a number and we need to make changes to each place value and write the new number. My strategy is to write the value of each number. So for example, the 8 in the ones is worth 8. The 1 in the tenths is worth 1/10. The 9 is worth 9/100ths, and the 7 is worth 7/1000ths. Now what I'm going to do is go one by one down my list and make the necessary changes using my multiply or division clue. The 8th is worth 1/100th as much. I see the fraction, so I know I'm dividing, and instead of dividing by 10, I'm dividing by 100. Using my calculator or my powers of 10, I know it's 8/100ths. The 9 is worth 1/10 as much. So I'm dividing by 10, again using my calculator or powers of 10, it's 9/1000ths. The 7 is 100 times as much, so it's times 100, giving me 7/10ths. And the 1 is 10 times as much, giving me 1. Now I can write the new number following each place value at a time. Notice it worked out that each place value is still covered. It's always going to be that way, or there was a mistake that you made. Write the new number in words. That's just using my skill of writing it out. 1 and 789,000ths. Let's practice another. Here we have a new question that you have on your worksheet as well, so please follow along. Take the time to write the value of each digit and then go through your checklist. When you're done, come back, unpause, and check your work with me. I'm going to begin now, so you should have the video paused. The 2 is worth 2, 6/10ths, 1/100th, and 4/1000ths. So I'm going to go down my list. The 1 is 1/10 as much, so I know to divide by 10. The 4 is 10 times as much, so I'm multiplying. The 2 is 1/10 as much, so I'm dividing. Oops. And the 6 is 10 times as much. So again, I can check my place value, ones, tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So I know that it's working out correct. 6.25 4, 1.